subtitles are available. Payday 3 is a stillborn game. It has no past, no present, no future. Some uninformed outside people, mindless shit consumers, and shills, which are disgusting and are traitors to the community, may say that game got new updates and some DLCs, which is true, but didn't make it a good game. It started as shit, it is shit, and it always will be shit. To be fair, Payday 2 had a bit of a botched and buggy launch too, but it did manage to pull itself out of the mud, something that Payday 3 struggles with right now, and most likely always will. I don't have anything positive to say about it. Call me a grifter, doomer, gloomer, in other words, I will stand my ground. Mostly because if we will let it slide, it will add to the precedent made by games like Cyberpunk, when you can just promise everything to everybody, then release with a big under-deliver and say, oh, well, we will fix the game at some point, but play now, because we surely will fix it. I understand why some people may want to be positive about this game, but I strongly advise against that. And that isn't even the problem. If it was just the launch, it would be too easy and probably even fine. Instead, this game is peppered with a bunch of major and minor issues and problems, which make it this bad. If I had to point out the biggest of them, it would be the fact that absolutely everybody at Starpiss seemingly forgot everything about Payday 2's history of botched launch, bad UI, absolute flop and betrayal of microtransactions and economy system, DLC bloat, story and lore issues, and every other smaller but still important thing. To explain what I mean, I need to return to Payday 2 here. At the launch, Payday 2 had problems too. Most modern quality of life, features missing, small amount of heists, weird UI, including the damned bars for statistics of your guns. Skill system being rather shallow and actually punishing for repurposing and changing skills around, difficulty system being just different, alongside balancing special units and their variants missing compared to modern version. I could keep going forever, you get the idea. The thing is that happened 10 years ago, and not even a single soul at damned Starpiss authors decided to look back at the history of their main title. Even the gun statistics bars are the fucking same, or at least were until recently. Something that they reverted in Payday 2 not even a year after the launch, which subsequently broke statistics system, effectively making stats like stability and accuracy go up to 25 instead of the advertised 100, because of the 4-point increments in base stats and attachments additions. Another lesson from Payday 2 that Payday 3 people obviously never heard of somehow is the microtransactions one. On the October 15th, 2015, for the first day of Crime Fest, developers decided to add the damned and cursed weapon skins, just like Valve with their game economies. Players obviously did not like such move, creating backlash so big that developers had to roll this shit back and properly apologize. Now, you may notice that Payday 3 has no microtransactions, only our favorite macrotransactions, with DLCs still there. And you'll be right, but I want you to look deeper, as developers seemingly did remember that microtransactions are not welcome. The only problem is that when they cut all plans on those, they forgot to cut one tiny thing: the always online requirement. This not only made life of quite a lot of people, including me, worse by making them unable to play the game when they want to, but also worsened the fail of the launch when Nebula, Starpiss service, which is a whole another talk, servers shot at themselves as every single heister wanted to try the long anticipated game. Of course, it will generate so much hate under their asses, to the point where it will be hotter than any star in the known universe. You can Watch more about the online-only requirement in Unintelligible's video on it, which I will link in the description. But the launch is just a small part of the problems of this game, and I want to start with lore and story. So, who thought that Shade was a good idea? I mean, I know they finished working with Viklund, at least Starpiece did after the end of Payday 2 story in 2018. Not so confident about side trekkies, but both still had Locke and his actor. What is the point of adding a whole new face with whole new history with zero ties to the story of Payday 2, besides trying to make another Bane for people to love, when people already had Locke? Whole thing just feels forced into the story, like, hey, hi, hello, this woman wants to gather the Payday gang together again. You never heard of her before? She bears absolutely no significance to anything you did before, but she's here. Enjoy her unfunny quips, lots of pointless swearing, and awful voice acting. It is a Payday game, so I expect to see Payday characters, not some OC from the worst corner of Wattpad, made by either a 14 or 30 plus year old lesbian who thinks that extensive swearing makes you cooler than you actually are. You could change her voice, name, appearance, and she still would stay completely useless addition to the lore and story. Not to say that in heists you'll be better off muting her, since her voice actor, or whoever directed her, decided that she should be always fake screaming like she's agitated, something that neither Bane or Locke did. Another story and lore thing to point out is that Concord / Sharky / Treaty / whatever they call that storyline bullshit, Bad Apple, whatever. I don't even remember its name, so awful and unmemorable it is. Is it still going? Is it done? Is it concluded? An hour or something? I have no idea. But I'm not interested. Not hooked. I do not follow it, I didn't follow it, and I don't want to. Like, what about that mafia type organization that hid drugs in Teddy Moo toys, which was accented on in their announcement trailer of that mall heist? Will there be any follow-up? Will it be a recurring organization? The way it was shown made sure to prop it up higher than just one-off jobs, including some criminal organizations in Payday the Heist and Payday 2, like Panic Room or Lad's business stuff. Maybe even on the same level as newer Triad DLC campaign from Payday 2. But will they follow up on that new Mafia thing and make something? I don't know. I don't think that they know either. Now, the Payday gang themselves. First and foremost, that Wolf is not Wolf. Voice actor did an awful fucking job, and I'm not sorry for saying that. Fuck you, Nicholas. Or actually no, Nicholas may have nothing to do with it, so fuck whoever decided that it would be a good idea to turn Wolf into some old grumpy grandpa type with awful jokes and attempts at creativity in his lines. Even in the game, at graphics, Wolf does not look like himself. I know that Ulf Andersson, the voice and prototype of Wolf, left Overkill alone a long time ago, but this Wolf does not even remotely bear any resemblance to Payday the Heist and Payday 2 Wolf. I could forgive many things, but this is a betrayal. Whoever came up with this unfaithful version of Wolf deserves to be executed with a grenade launcher after getting gutted like a fish. Even if they're nothing more than a fucking snake trader. At least his outfit is nice. Speaking of other heisters, Chains is probably the only heister which looks better now. That's a plus. Unfortunately, I can't say that for others. Dallas is just changed, Not that he looks essentially better or worse, but I would say that he looks a bit generic, like he was sculpted out of some NPC model from the big asset pool of the Unreal Engine 4. Hoxton is not Hoxton, that's fucking Birmingham if you ask me. They somehow fucked up his skull shape, turning Payday the Heist and Payday 2 Hoxton's thin and sharp chin and jaw into a fat, white face, with even his nose going from thin to wide for some fucking reason. And they cut his ponytail. Sellouts. After the original gang, we have Joy, which changed her hair color from coffee brown to black, which is actually a common theme as Dallas, Wolf, Hoxton, and Clover got their hair darkened, while Houston got it lightened. For some reason. To be fair, Hoxton in Payday the Heist did have black hair. Joy's face changed to making her look like some young Japanese mom, which I suppose is age appropriate for her, and looks rather fine if you look at her at the right angle and don't give it too much thought. Clover became a Todd. I'm serious. If she looked rather okay in Payday 2, here she's just fucking awful. And that's not even an insult to the actress Aoife Dolphin, which is actually a pretty beautiful gal with quite a big portfolio. It is just that developers decided to mutilate her character in-game, including her long hair, which they decided to ponytail, probably because they were too afraid to figure out how to do proper hair physics for her. Jacket is a weird one, since there is no original depiction of him. I might as well just count him as a new guy. Though my personal preference has to go to the latest Payday 2 version of his face, now that I hate much the Payday 3 version. And his outfit is actually quite nice here too, being faithful to his jacket. Though we still haven't gotten a yellow torso white sleeves version of his jacket, as well as other depiction from artworks, being a pinkish, brownish, reddish, Bordeaux, burgundy colored torso and beige sleeves jacket. As well as we still don't have the original Richard mask, more realistic and Hotline Miami accurate version, not to say anything about other Hotline Miami inspired masks. And now, this star of literal nothing and boredom, Pearl. Besides nice voice acting, she is boring. Even her backstory is some sort of weird amalgamation of Chains' tough upbringing and Sydney's adolescent crime. We even know her full name, which is definitely the least needed personalization for a heister. Seen as original crew and all other 20 H3 packers on Myth heisters had little to no names, with only Sokol, Sydney, Bonnie, John Wick, Ross, Scarface, Sangres and Duke having names, with others ranging from speculations and guesses to complete anonymity. So why does a new heisty character get a weepy whiny backstory, little to no introduction, full name without any particular reason for one, while being an almost completely blank slate with no cultural, visual, audio, or even specificational difference from what we already had seen before? Did they want to pull some sort of community trick here? I'm not an overkill or star-piece developer or story writer. I do not know what principles they used and use to add new heisters. But in my opinion, she's just a boring addition. She isn't a result of one of the crew members getting caught, like Houston. She doesn't bring new tech or mechanics like Houston with stealth and dodge, or other later edition heisters. She has no contacts, no heists, no weapons, not even a designated role in the crew, unlike literally any other heister in Payday the Heist and Payday 2. The only positive thing about her is that this edition isn't the worst we could get, and I'm thankful at least for this. In terms of looks, she's fine, voice acting is nice too, and maybe that she's a good old an American, or even New Yorker. Not sure how much of a positive thing that is though. As for return of other heisters, nobody knows anything. They obviously don't care about them all. Crossover characters will evaporate like they were never there. Some heisters did better in the community than others. And the way Payday 2 ended doesn't even matter for the start of Payday 3. Will we get a projection from heisters like Sokol or Sydney, which wanted to leave the life of crime? What about Duke, who moved to New York, opened a museum and got married? Are we just willing to forget this ending? When even is the game set? Why do we get some bullshit about Pearl and the ARG instead of answers to literal world building, which got fucked up by Payday 3? This game doesn't even feel like it belongs in this universe. But narrative and lore and story and world building are nothing if you have no gameplay. And surprisingly, Payday 3 has gameplay. Surprisingly and unfortunately. There is a lot to unpack, so I will thin problems out one by one. Starting with the main issue, Unreal Engine 4. I know, Diesel engine was an outdated piece of shit, but it doesn't mean that you need to use option as shitty as the thing that you had before. It is one of the main reasons why this game looks like a shitty, unrealistic and plastic asset flip, or even, how dare I, a Roblox game. Though comparing this shit to Roblox would be an insult to the pedophile and pervert-filled latter. So bad Unreal Engine 4 is in my opinion. Engine and its problems aside, there is more. Like player character being a sluggish, unresponsive twat. If somebody will say to me that this is, quote-unquote, realistic, I will shut him up by the fact that I don't have a tactile response and full body control to somehow mitigate and get accustomed to the inertia that they added. Poorly added. You see, there are games who do this inertia good, like Source Engine games or first two Payday games. Oh wow, we return to engines now. Say hello to our unoptimized friend again. He will appear multiple times. Inertia aside, there are also unresponsive controls which feel like they have a delay on what you want to do. Walking, shooting, pulling out grenade and then spin, switching weapons, dropping deployables. Speaking of which, where's my interaction circle? Stop is. Why do I have to commit to placing deployable after pressing the key? Where's the hold G to deploy? What if I misclicked and now my medic bag is in the middle of open parking lot? Other controls suck big fat ass too. One of the worst offenders is the fucking phone. Why is it there? Why is it even in the game? Do starters use QR codes to enter their shitty office too? What if I want to blow shit up with a shape charges deployable or use a petrol-fueled concrete cutter saw, neither of which are in the game? We already have keycards, Starpies. In previous game, the good one, we could use drills, explosives, saws, and keycards for typical doors. There were unusual individuals in doors without keycard reader which required picklocking instead, but usual types were common. You didn't need this keycard too to enter each and every fucking door. Other than that, phone also activates gadgets like fucking infrasonic mines. Beautiful reasons to take a whole phone just to activate 2 mines per heist. You also call in overcount weapon with it when heisters already have radios to contact the literal coordinator of the whole heist. Just tell them that you need overkill weapon or radio frequency. You don't need a phone for this. Out of all things, phone maybe could be used for, since I obviously didn't go sniffing around at this pile of rubbish game, I believe in accessing camera feeds and hacking / answering guards' radios. You do need a screen to look at cameras, both security and microcams, but hacking a radio device? What are you hacking there? It's a fucking radio, not a phone with internet connection. It uses radio frequencies much longer than what a phone could send to possibly jam it, let alone send a signal to confuse a grown-ass adult security personnel. And why would you use phone for answering? 1. God already has a radio on the frequency with the pager operator, and 2, you already have a radio to listen to your coordinator, so you could just change the frequency and answer the damn call. Now this leaves us with just one thing phone could be useful for, the camera feed. And honestly, I'm not sure what to think of this one. I mean, there are so many security surveillance systems that I think that disqualifying it just for that would be enough, since there may be outdated systems, well encrypted systems, systems that are not connected to the internet or use wired connection, which could be accessed only physically, just like in Payday 2, which had access points assets, which had CCTV operator room, spy cams, which are normal security cameras with feed botched in gang's favor, so they could mark guards, camera drones from both security and gang sites in the end of the day. To be fair, cameras were pretty useless like this, but I would say that this is a symptom of a failed stealth system of Payday 2. And surprisingly, stealth in Payday 3 is but in a different, much better way. Was it an improvement from Payday 2, where stealth was secondary and never was meant to be taken seriously until it was, which broke balance of heists, giving us breaking feds, which is absolute dogshit? Yeah, slightly. Did I play enough stealth to talk about it? Of course not! I would need to get paid to play this shit in the least fun way possible. I did play a fair share of stealth in Payday 2, but I'm not doing that for Payday 3, even if it is its strong side. What is not a strong side, however, is the armor system. Yes, Armor 2.0 sucks. First of all, why would you choose resistant plate? One that does not regenerate at all. Or adaptive plate, one that regenerates only if partial damage was done. I think by this point everybody knows, but I will tell the tale anyways. Payday derived from Left 4 Dead. Game where zombies needed to get close to you to deal damage, so you didn't need armor. In Payday the Heist and Payday 2, armor was done the usual way for us, comparable to Halo's shield mechanic. This change to Left 4 Dead formula was needed since enemies became SWAT units with guns, not zombies. In both games, armor regen wouldn't take long, around 2 or 3 seconds, so not getting health damage was a thing of skill, bit of luck, positioning and other things that do not depend on a single deployable. Payday 3 looked at modern CIA-sponsored Call of Duty using plates and being all cool with plate carriers, and said, I want to be cool and popular and marketable too, and made this shitty system. I don't need to be Ulf Anderson himself to tell you that this is shit. 12 seconds of so-called now regeneration for 4 impact plates, so they want me to wait 1/5 of a minute, which could be 1/5 of a drill duration, hug duration, whatever defensive objective, without any protection, just because I dare to choose a bigger plate carrier, which can't even protect me well. Impact plates are the only plates in this game. Resistant ones just suck. You need to bring armor bag each and every time just to get to play this game. Yes, let's make armor something that was supposed to negate the fact that you are fighting people with firearms, a second health buff for you to manage, so your stress would go higher than buff of Sky Heist. Adaptive plates are like that one friend who can decide if he wants loud or stealth for 5 minutes already, making other 2 friends leave, making him as a host, and you stay alone while he still chooses. In other words, it is a blend that I do not understand the purpose of. If you want to be the armor bag maggot, take resistant armor. If you want to wait 12 seconds, take impact armor. And nobody takes adaptive plates. Just give it a normal Payday Heist and Payday 2 style of armor already. Don't take Payday out of Payday! Like that new Grenadier unit. Oh, sorry, forgot that we dropped serious names. The Nader. Now, he's obviously meant to be a stand-in for Spitter from Left 4 Dead, a special unit that was able to lock down areas for continuous time using aerial damage. For that, they took tear gas idea that was briefly touched upon in Payday 2, Sounds normal, pretty good even. A new unit that is faithful to Left 4 Dead, involves mechanic or even a whole entity that wasn't explored in previous game, and uses it in its own way. Sounds perfect. Until you remember that you don't fight zombies anymore. Again, every enemy in this game has a gun. That is already a long-range damage option, which is able to lock areas down, albeit not with continuous aerial damage. Unless it is a shotgun, then just not continuous. Unless they will stand there too. Then player would need to do something to stop them, like kill the man. So here, player input changes the outcome. Lockdown area became clear and now can be used to reposition. Returning to our gas boy, we can see that his grenades are nothing more than a big "fuck you" to the player, something that even Cloaker, Hunter or Witch didn't do. Cloaker has an ambient sound, is ineffective on long stretches, can be outran. In Payday 2 you could stun him with Counter-Strike skill or electrocute him, and in Payday 3 he can be shut off or disengaged. Hunter has announcing jingle, deafening scream, and can turn in the air, meaning you still can dodge him. Which can be just left alone, but one can crown her or die trying if she is sitting in the way. What about Nada? Well, you can kill him before he throws his shit. That's about it. Does he announce his presence like either of three I just talked about? No! Even Spitter announced herself with jingle and ambient. But fine, it's just tear gas. Shouldn't be that deadly, right? It attacks health directly. Not armor threshold, which gives you time to react to damage or see if you will be damaged or not. Health. Can you hold your breath and run through the gas? No! Can you somehow dissipate it? No! How do I fight it then? The answer is that you don't. You just wait. You wait for 12 seconds of armor, you wait for gas to dissipate, you wait in circles, you wait until this game becomes good! Wait, day 3, it is! What is he even fighting? Like, what problem there possibly could be to add him? Sitting in a room was a problem? Or standing around was? I already get punished by moving. That's... that is why I have no fucking armor all the time. Fucking 12 seconds and it gets suppressed. And now I have no health because I tried to wait and regenerate my armor? What even is the point of doing anything in this game if game doesn't want you to play it? Nothing loud for sure. On to other special news. They removed Medic. Completely. Because I can't even find an excuse or a reason for this. My very best guess is that they tried to implement him but got lost on how to do him since, I don't know, he used magic to heal people around him. Maybe they saw him as a nuisance. I liked him, with all his bulldozer roving and being the only counter to more common grenade launches. Even health chains were funny. Maybe they wanted to put some sort of feeling like individual normal cops are tougher now, and Medic would make them too tough. I mean, I see those as reasons. I would even take the fact that there were no medics in Payday the Heist, but nobody even remembered the guy apart from one person on Steam forums of Payday 3, asking where medics are. One of my biggest gripes about Medic in Payday 2 was the fact that he had very short lifespan, which Medic Dozer fixed perfectly. My second favorite unit after this Bulldozer. Speaking of bulldozers, Payday 3 Bulldozer does not even look like a bulldozer. Guy's just a bit lankier than normal cops. They did paint him green recently, which looks a little less silly but still not the best. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. He does not feel like a bulldozer. He's not built like a 2x2 meter steel billet or a bulky man in a bulky armor. I think normal SWAT units have better armor coverage than this lanky bitch ass. I would even say that he loses to Medic Dozer, and that guy had a single MP5 in 9x19mm Parabellum, aka 9mm Luger. Payday 3 Twig has a big visor, which is his weak spot, self-loaded shotgun, which feels more like a bug spray against a bear, and awful AI mechanics. Why couldn't they just bring back the best of the best, the School bulldozer! I want to hear that M249. I want some suppression. I want some lead hell. I want stakes. I want action. I want to be against the motherfucking bulldozer. I want to be up against a motherfucking wall. I want challenge. I want a worthy opponent to make a legendary battle in which one of us will have to kill the other or die trying. Instead, we have a guy, one that doesn't even want to engage the perpetrator. That kick they added to him feels wicked in God's melee attack in Payday 2. And whatever that quarterback charge is. Stop is, we already had charge mechanic in Payday the Heist in Payday 2, where Bulldozer would just push into you with zero care in this world. Like a literal fucking bulldozer would! And he didn't put his gun away, no! If it was a charging schooldozer and you had a bolt-action rifle, you didn't even have to pray. You were already thinking about what to say to the Saint Peter, because this death is a death of a humiliated martyr which will repent all your sins! Sorry, got carried away there. I fucking love bulldozers, no matter the gun. I feel underwhelmed and lied to. Calling him a bulldozer is false advertisement. He doesn't make me run, he doesn't pose a challenge. Even dying to him feels empty. Just like going down to anything else in this game, so fake it feels. Other tank is Shield, who is paradoxically is all more annoying, easier to deal with, worse and better. First of all, they added him a breakable visor, which is a questionable choice considering that shock and awe skill was a main way to deal with shields, at least for me. Assault rifles, submachine guns, machine guns, shotguns of all operation principle, handguns of various calibers, and all their akimbo variants all use shock and awe, so why not implement a passive ability like that instead of a visor? If the shield can hide behind the shield, then what's the point? Even Marshall's shield, having a breakable shield, had a mechanic built around it. What does Payday 3 shield do when his shield visor goes down? Nothing! At least they added him some melee, which can open him the old-fashioned way of outmaneuvering him. And shield surfing, when you could climb the shield or when be picked up, but couldn't get off him, isn't a thing anymore, just like them moving down teammates isn't a thing anymore. Those are little positives, but hey, it isn't like Payday 3 has many positives to throw these out of the way. Techie! She is first of all, girl. That matters. A lot, probably. Second, I've barely seen her. I know, sounds funny when you consider that she's actively hiding most of the time, but it isn't like I've noticed much of her presence or consequences of such in heists. Her main thing are drones, and with the time period of current situation in the world, this could have been a real death by proxy. But instead of speedy and disposable flashbang carrier drones and advanced surveillance, letting other special and normal units know where you are, making hiding useless like she's the eye of God, the spy, the observer, the all-powerful spectator, a little peeping Tom watching all your illegal deeds and comms, giving intel to cops to crack down on your ass like a well-coordinated team. You get a slow drone with gun. I mean, a way to lose the perfect opportunity to at least utilize cameras and loudstar piss. Such a letdown, not going to lie. She's just droning, not overloading systems, melting infrastructure, making you go through more physical approaches rather than constant hacking. Not even turning electricity off or interrupting, reverting and combating system intrusions like hacking. As a man in IT and mechanics, including electronics, this is just pathetic. Stop this, are you doing this on purpose? There are so many creative decisions for somebody like her. With your resources, you could do so much better. Fuck! This whole game took a major aim at hacking and mechanics woven around it. This, I assume, is the whole reason why we got Hacker Joy instead of Engineer and Speedster Sokol, or Independent Mastermind Sydney, Mechanic Rust, or a literal Cartel Hitman Sangres. Yes, I am looking at stories and a lot of heisters, seeking their specializations as they mattered in Payday the Heist and Payday 2. I'm not letting those twats take away literal personalization of this game. Over my dead bodies, you star-pissed scribblers! Anyways, so much lost potential. This whole game is lost potential. I don't know what I fucking expected. I expected more. I expected so much more out of this bloody fucking game. On to the more shocking news, Taser. Oh, no, wait, no. Excuse me! Zappa! I think there were hundreds of thousands much better and creative names sorted, starting from best to worst, and Zappa was the last of them, so bad it is. Anyways, Zappa is just a Taser but worse. An ongoing trend you could already notice with this game. It is always worse than Payday 2. In fact, it would be much better without any improvements if there was no Payday 2. Like on consoles. There is no Payday 2, only Payday 3. And for those platforms, aside from the fact that you would need to be a complete numbnut, an utter idiot, to play shooters on gamepad in any shape or form, Payday 3 is pretty good, actually. So if you have no Payday 2 available, then Payday 3 is just a bit bad. But it is like with cheese, mold makes it better, you know. Returning to our current topic, I know, it is a shocker that I derailed talking about such shaking topic as Zappa, but I just had to mention such stunning information. Okay, seriously now. They took away his ability to electrocute without a stun gun in his hands, so now he has to swap between his rifle and taser to tase. Unintelligible, again, already said it, but I will say it again. Give him an under-barrel attachment of a stun gun. There already are modifications like this in real life, and there even is a mod for such thing. In Payday 2, they also added him electromines and that 12-volt battery in his hip that you can shoot out. Not like those are meaningful changes, as I haven't noticed them myself. So, I mean, in some way, Zappa isn't that bad compared to Taser. Which I cannot say about Cloakum. I don't have much experience with him in Payday 3, mainly because he's nothing. When you see him, you don't go Cloaker! Or fucking Cloaker! Watch your backs! You just think, oh, Cloaker. He feels like he got somewhat lost and wandered into a heist by a complete coincidence. Just sitting around like some civilian that ducked to not get shot. He also no longer has his MP510, making him melee only, like a zombie. He doesn't have his sick breakdowns, dodging moves anymore either, but he can now wall run. For some purpose. Did nobody tell him that he ran on horizontal surfaces for maximum efficiency or what? He doesn't close gaps like some Prince of Persia or Jack Cooper. He doesn't become faster on the wall run. It looks cool, but it's useless. I could say that about this whole game though. I mean, his whole AI is to spawn in and just charge at people. That's not how cops work. Unless you're in some Muslim Britain stand when they have no idea what firearms are. Oh, and he also sort of destroys deployables. Never seen him do that. So essentially he is useless and barely a threat now. He can't even down you. At last, Sniper. With how armor works in this game, Sniper would be a big threat. If he could take away more than one plate at a time. I can't believe they managed to neuter one of the best counters to armor with an armor system that feels like shoving rusty glowing hard barbed wire up your ass without lube. Or like Stoic without health regeneration. Even here they can't do anything new and creative. To what? Anyways, Sniper. He's boring. Easy to shoot and lost unique gunshot sound. And sound of me getting shot is gone too. Sometimes I'll just walk outside, do something, go back and notice that my armor is gone only when I'm dead. Boring and bad. You know, I think the joke about me saying the same about the whole game got old already, but I don't care. Now, usual SWAT units. And here, I want to briefly touch up upon difficulty scaling. Instead of usual increase in tankiness and damage dealt out by enemies, Payday 3 decides to increase the amount of cops instead, while still increasing their damage and providing all new tactics, changes to reaction time, usage of environment, an environment that feels like the quality or quantity approach to heists, forgotten that quality matters. Heists are just generic, like the only changing thing about them are decorations and other objectives. There are no significant changes to the tactical environment, no CQB heavy heists, no long range prevalent ones, something that could make you change your build entirely, something that could invalidate some builds completely. No set pieces aside from that container thing and new 99 boxes, no exclusive mechanics, nothing that makes heists stand out, nothing that would make them burn into your memory. Do you remember Greenbridge, Slaughterhouse, Golden Green Casino? Fuck, even Harvest and Trusty Branch Bank from Firestarter, or Jewelry Store from Lad's TR Job. Complex and simple heists, ones that just guard themselves into your mind. I mean, even after White House contracts are not bad at all, and all those had different ways of interacting with the usual SWAT units. All of them mattered. Spawn points, big spawns, set ambushes, something. Right now everything feels as samey as modern Counter-Strike 2 or Call of Duty maps, with the tree-line balancing, optimizing fun out of the gameplay, and changing only decorations from a bank to a warehouse and back. There's a reason why they bring back so much Payday 2 stuff in their own, like, twisted way. Like that False World Bank, which isn't a revoked version, but an attempt of a drowning man to grapple onto the lifeline with the skin of his teeth. Same with everything they add right now. They pull jacket cards since it's that jacket. They try to supply the lack of guns with new DLCs, seeing as when Payday 2 already outnumbers them new additions to the arsenal. Speaking of which, let's get something straight and clear and out of the way. Firearms in Payday 3 suck. It is easily the worst aspect of this game. The worst, I repeat. After all what I said, this one is the worst offender. I'm going to start light. What the fuck are those names? Start this. A little hint. Adding meaningless numbers and letters to names of firearms does not make you cool or tactical. KU-59. What do you imagine when you hear this name? Now forget whatever you imagined, it is AKM. Or, as it was named in Payday 2, AK-762. It was named AK-762 in reference to the cartridge it fires, 7.62 by 39mm cartridge, and it is, as well, AK, the Автомат Kalashnikov modernizirованный. What does KU in KU-59 means, I am left to wonder. Thanks for the 59 part though, as it could be a year number designation for AKM, as it entered full production in 1959. And I can keep going! I can beat down on every gun that they decided to present in this game. What is Adelig RG5? Why not just Adelig? Why not just RG5? What gun even is it? Turns out it is fucking Heckler & Koch HK G3, also known as simply G3, which was reflected in Payday 2 by the name Gewehr 3. Simple as that, no need for some Adeligs and RG5s coming out of nowhere. Skogskrigare AG9 is the Swedish version of FN Hestal FNC, also known as Automat Carbine 5, or just AK5, which it was named in Payday 2. What sane man will say the full name of the gun? If you wanted, I have a diagnosis so I don't count. And I just touched the tip of the iceberg, already keeping this segment span out for around 300 words, and I can go for 1000 more, which is probably something I will do, if I will ever get to making another one of those videos. But what is more important is that they feel awful. I'll start with animations. Payday 2 is probably the staple of good animation on scale as big as Payday 2 Arsenal. And that is in the Diesel engine, which does not support different animations for the same weapon. They were smooth, mostly correct, used rather old style of animating. They were indicating, especially reload animations, having different animation sets for full and partial reloads, including different speeds, the full reload sometimes being quicker via animation length or special skills that played on it. Something like it in Payday 3. As when in Payday 3 you basically have Parkinson's, also known as, oh look, this is like in Call of Duty Modern Shitfest 2019, or simply new style, where you need to be this high-speed, low-drag, super-duper mega operator that plays with guns like a fucking toddler, or, as a commentator by the name of the Badass Garcia said, you got good animations? We got pointless twirls and arthritis reloads. Do a mag flip here, wreck the gun with mag there, do some niche Somali Iraq Abu Dhabi Vietnam 360 no scope AK, reload, this style of bullshit. One where your camera goes wild just from how intense and adrenaline the reload is. probably made to cater to ADHD kids, those who never played Payday before, because it was a 10-year-old game at best and a 12-year-old franchise at worst. There are also reused full reloads for partial ones, like with MP5. At least when our guy or gal pulls the charging handle back, a round flies out. Thanks for that, assholes. And what is going on with shit animations? Like our heisters, whose life it is to do armed robberies that result in shootouts. The career criminals, the legendary Payday gang, forgot how to shoot? Hold the gun straight, they don't kick that bad. Oh, and animations just stack up on each other, making them feel like there isn't each consecutive shot going off one after another, but like a water gun with long shots. I feel like everybody who knew what firearms are just left the studio leaving Starpiece with airsoft guns and a bunch of new movies where they add muzzle flash in post and just leave it at that, like nobody will actually watch movie even with a single eye. Like fire mode selector option. Where is it? Where's my semi-auto switch? Why is my assault rifle locked to full auto? Why is this shitty new RPK-16 locked to full auto? Or there is a button to switch. Where is it, Starpiece? Where's the switch? Oh, and speaking about missing things, where's my 545x39mm AK, motherfucker? Where is my AK-74? Where's my AK-74 Starpiece? I come America, unhappy very, no 545x39mm AK, kill very much Americans without AK, is not nice. And no, RPK does not count. Especially how bad it feels. Or rather how same it feels. Shooting animations are bad, reloading animations are bad, and sounds are bad too. No really, that is not how firearms sound. Those sound weak. Even fucking 50 BMG sounds weak. They had Thanatos sound right there. Crispy, deafening, beautiful sound of a 50 caliber Browning machine gun cartridge going off. Every other gun sounds like a muffled shit. Like a pea shooter, not an actual firearm. I think a water gun would be more fattening than Payday 3 guns. They even managed to fuck up Desert fucking Eagle in 50 Action Express. Desert Eagle, fucko. The hand cannon. And sounds of handling the gun are awful too. All those clicks, dangles, jingles. No, this game was definitely made for special kids. The kind of which even other special kids think are special. And I'm not even sorry. These kind of children really need help. Medical, or we're finding a better game to waste their time on. And I know I touched on animations already, but Desert Eagle animations are pure shit. Especially how they are restricted to its fire rate. I mean, it's supposed to be snappy. Why does it just wobble? I don't even know how to describe it. Honestly, it's supposed to be snappy, but it is not. I swear, every gun known people, which probably included Ulf Alderson himself, left a damned place like it had zero patient of plague in there. I have no other explanation for how shitty firearms are in this game. Anyways, I need to wrap this up. Well, thanks for watching, listening, or whatever. If you liked it, leave it a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. If you have something to say, comments are somewhere down there. Some links to more coherent videos on this topic that I picked are in the description. Some... the fuck out of my way, please. Some are fresh, just a few days. Some may be working on all the info, but I don't think they lost relevance all that much. Subscribe if you want, and if you turn all notifications on, since I may or may not upload more. Maybe about Payday, maybe I will have more to add to this video, maybe I will make a video on something else. And remember, if you have something to get out there, like I and others did, do it. Go for it. I and others will appreciate an outlook and opinion on this game, because I'm not a hater, I'm just a very, very big and disappointed fan of this franchise. Anyways, appreciate it. Over and out.